What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at the prologue for Mech Mechanic Simulator. If you've ever played Auto Mechanic Simulator, if you've ever played any of those types of games, this is exactly that, just sort of juxtaposed into a Mechwarrior style Battletech universe where you're a mechanic, you're working your way up with all the corporations, they bring in their mechs that are hot off the battlefield that have gunshots and bullet holes and bad wiring and everything else, and it's your job to put them back together and get the thing up to specification before you ship it back. In so doing, you will align yourselves with various corporations, you will get different licenses to work on different fleets of mechs, stuff like that. And that's a really compelling idea to me. I actually really like Auto Mechanic Simulator. I buy pretty much every one right when it comes out, because for whatever reason there's a sort of zen to it. Also, it's kind of increased my knowledge of how a car works by like a lot. Like, before I got those games, I don't think I could have changed, like, my brake pads or whatever. Now, I am positive I could get my brake pads swapped out. Like, it'd be a lot more dirty than in the game. It'd be a lot more of a pain in the ass trying to get that ratchet up where you want it to go. But at the same time, like, I know where it is, I know how you access it now, and I think there's something kind of cool and zen-like about that, taking something that's broken and making it fixed. So anyways, we're going to dive on in, take a look at the prologue. If you wanted to get this game after I take a look at it, the prologue is available. You can check it at the link down below. Aside from that, you'll also find a link to my Discord and a link to my Twitch stream. So let's get started, shall we? New game.
You're finally here. Your competitors were not as lucky as you are, and they are still sitting in their holes. And you got this gem.
Okay. Apparently I've got a little robot sidekick over here, dude. That's kind of cool. He's got like, look, he's got like a little visor over his optical units.
This place, and unregistered mechanics are still being prosecuted by the authorities. Since you're operating in a somewhat gray area, they'll surely make me your partner in crime. Screw me apart and make me a blender or some other tool. Just be careful, okay?
I don't believe in being careful. I'm in the business of repairing heavy metal death machines. The game wants us to go up to our office. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go up to the office and we'll get started with how all this works. Up the stairs we go. Look at this beautiful view. Got ourselves kind of a cyberpunk city out there. Cars are flying. Pornography is being peddled from the deep desire. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Apparently, what does that say? Does that say shake your boner? Fair enough, man. That's a little bit of a forward sign. But I guess in the future they know what they want, man. They get them out here and shaking. Fair enough. All right, so our job offers are going to come through here. No, dude, I don't think I need a tutorial. I think I kind of know what's going on. We've got a Centurion over here from Dalhousie. We've got Sakura Technology, which they've got a legacy thing going on right here. That's a old mech right there. Apparently it's got 3 parts to repair. The Centurion only has 1 part to repair. We've got this guy right here, and we got this guy right here. Let's start with the legacy. How about that? So our tasks are to repair the 3 parts that are effectively broken right now. Perfect. Accept the job, and down comes the mech. It looks like it used to be purple and blue, maybe. It's kind of caked in dirt, though. We're going to have to get that. Yes, you will also wash the mech in this. There's free detailing service that is included with every mech repair. Let's go on down. There's going to be a main workbench down here. The main workbench is how we're going to be able to look at stuff and like figure out what we want to do. These are our repair benches right here. So as we take the parts off, like we're actually going to disassemble this guy, and every disassembled part is going to end up on one of these benches right here, and then we're going to have to figure out what's wrong with it, whether it be like a wiring issue, an electrical issue, a programming issue, so on and so forth. Let's go to the scanning station. It doesn't need to be cleaned, so it's all good to go. It just needs to be scanned. So let's get this thing all nice and bucked on in. I love these little immersive like little segments where like as you're scanning things, it actually shows you the scanning process. So here's the next part. We got to find all 3 busted things. So we're just going to hold down left click, and we found one right there. It looks like it's got a bad leg actuator possibly. Actually, that looks like a solid piece of equipment right there. So it might just actually be like a busted flexor or something. The hip joint. So that's the actuator right there. Like that actuator is shot. And then we've got some busted leg wiring too. Okay. Everything is in the left leg and in the right leg. So let's go ahead and we will put the left leg on workbench 1. We're going to have to take off this plate right here. Once the plate is off, we take this bad boy off like right here with the little screws. Perfect. All right, so there's our guy. I think we're going to have to get this guy off, too, right here. So there you go. The leg has officially been removed from the mech. Do we have some sort of, like, suspension system that's going to hold this thing up? I'm a little worried. Let's go ahead and we'll plop the right leg over here. We're sort of lucky in that all the problems are kind of, like, on the leg of the mech. Get that bolt out. Get that bolt out. There we go. Pull off the back plate. Done. And off comes that leg. Perfect. Now we got to go over to our workbenches. We got to take a look at them, and we got to figure out what's wrong with these bad boys. So let's close that on out. There's our legs right here. The scans should make this pretty simple. Oh, it looks like he's suspended in some kind of like levitation field. Okay, so we're into like full-on sci-fi right now, like high sci-fi, not low sci-fi. All right, so let's peel off the armor plating right here. Let's take a look. All right, that's off. We've got that right there. I think on this one we're trying to get to... Is that an armor right there? Oh, we've actually got to pull. Okay, so there you go. This guy right here, I will be shocked if it doesn't have about 1 million bolts that need to come out. There we go. So there's some bolts. Pull that guy. And then I think it's this dude right here. That we are looking to repair. All right, so... We've got that off now. Everything else looks like it's in okay shape. Yeah, everything seems to be okay. Like, they're not, like, super busted. I think they're, like, serviceable, so I think it'll be okay. And we can rotate, we can look around, all that kind of fun stuff, just in case you're wondering how that works. Okay, so we've got this part right here. I think we got to search it out in the shop. It's going to be $1,800 for a cable? Oh, my God. That's an expensive repair right there. Like, that's a no-joke repair. Yeah, put the armor back on. Like, that's fine by me. Like, we replaced the cable right there, so that should be fine. I ain't replacing all this. This is all too pricey. I'll put it back on for you, but, like, I ain't repairing nothing down here. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just kind of put that back on. All right, so that leg, I think, is good to go. There's no real indicator of whether or not it's fully assembled. That is something that I'd like if they gave you, like, a meter on the side over here that lets you know, like, I don't know. So here's the tough part, right? They don't give you any type of, like, ghost or anything like that to show you what the completed piece looks like versus what an incomplete piece looks like. But we only had to replace the cable on this one, and I'm pretty sure we've got all the parts back on it, so I think this is okay. Let's go over to our other workbench. As I recall, this one had a bad hip actuator, and I think the front armor right there was damaged, correct? I think? Can I fiddle with that from right here? I don't know how deep into this I have to go. I don't know. Let's pull the bolts real fast. Maybe it won't come free without this right here. Pull it. Hey, pull it. Yeah, use your big boy muscles. There you go. Big boy muscles only. We've got this guy right here. Actually, that's an okay... Oh, it's actually that thing right there. Okay, well, let's pull everything off then. Okay, let's get this footy all nice and bare here. It looks like that's actually rigged to the front of this armor, too. All right, so pull that, pull that, pull that, pull that. There we go. Perfect. All right. Little shin guard right here. So it looks like in order to get the hydraulics off, we've got to pull the cable. So that's fine. Come off, please. There we go. Cable's off. This is almost free, but it looks like I've got to get this dude off right here first, which means I do like how it highlights. So that's a really nice UI element right there. I like it a lot. So when you mouse over something, it tells you the thing that is stopping it from coming free, and then you mouse over that, and it's the next thing up the chain. And so, like, you figure it out one bit and one piece at a time. There we go. All right, if I can get all this off right here, perfect. And there's the actuator, the hydraulics we were looking for. With the hip thing up here, how hard is that going to be to get out? It looks like that actually just comes free, so that's like good to go.
So he tells them. Hasta la vista, baby.
All right, well, we pulled it, so that's good. We press the Q button. That's going to take us back to our replace center. We click on the thing we want to replace, and we need a new... It looks like it's just a hip gear, so how much is that going to cost me? $2,800? Good lord. All right, we'll throw that back in right there. So that's ready to rock. And then down here, let's go ahead. Oh, I'm adding parts right now. My bad. Okay, so we needed you to come off. Oh, you're ready to be popped off. Good. Okay, so you're off right there. Now we got to go back to replacement mode. This guy right here, we'll search it in the shop, and we've got legacy hydraulics. Perfect. So we'll throw that in right there. That's fine. We don't need to do anything with that right there. We'll go ahead and we'll put the cabling back in. Oh, we can keep old parts too. We can like cut costs and whatnot. Oh my. Okay, good to know. Good to know. All right, let's put stuff back on here. All right, back on, back on, back on. I think that's both of our busted parts, right? And we'll just screw that back on there. Perfect, dude. See, I'd be an amazing mech mechanic, dude. They would hire me from all over the spheres. I'd be like the personal armor of the Draconis Combine, dude. Nobody would even question it. They'd be like, yep, he's pretty good at his job. And I'd be like, you're damn right I am. I'm out here doing this hard man work, getting all greasy with the fire and the cordite. I think we're good here. I think we got everything reassembled. So I think we can just kind of jump off right here. And I think we can put the leggies back on. Let's find out. All right, so lefty leggy, you're back on. All right, armor's there, armor's there. We'll go ahead and throw that back on right there. More armor. And then righty, guess what? You're going back on too. I didn't forget about you, buddy. I didn't forget about you, righty. I know you're still sitting over there on the workbench. You don't got to be worried about it, brother. I'd never forget about you. All right, so it looks like it's fixed. We found all three problems, and it looks like we reassembled it. Man, that's a badass piece of machinery right there. You got to love it, dude. You got to love it. Let's go see if it'll turn in. Yeah, it will. So we finished the job. So there you go. Our first successful mech repair. It wasn't in too bad a shape. It needed some minor fiddling and diddling. But, you know, it turned out pretty good. Got paid $1,100 for it, thank God. I mean, we only made, actually, at the end of the day, I think we only made like $4,000 off of that, just due to the fact that the parts were so expensive. I don't know if we can, like, use the old parts and, like, sell them maybe or something like that. It looks like there is a global market, so that's going to be my guess on how you're going to turn around a little bit of profit. Our company, we need $25,000 in order to buy a license right now. The downside to this operation is that we are very much an illegal mechanics shop. So, you know, there's 3 parts to fix on the Argus. 3 parts to fix there. 2 parts to fix on the Centurion. Bring in the Centurion. That's kind of a badass looking mech. I want to take a look at it. Slide that thing on in there. How often do you get to get up close with the models from things like Battletech and just take a straight up look at like how all the little moving pieces work and whatnot? All right, and so this guy's a little bit mussy. This guy seems like he's been off-road mudding. Okay. What are those right there? Those aren't missile racks. Dude, I think those are like actually either rail guns or like double laser packs effectively. Cool. I like how it's got little tennies coming off of it too. Those little adorable tennies right there. The tennies of murder. Alright, so we have to clean this guy up. Let's go ahead and hit it with the hose. There you go. Looking pretty good. Not too bad. We'll kind of get it done. Any parts that I've missed here? Oh, yeah, we got to get the butt. Hold on. We got to get the butt cheeks. The butt cheeks have not been appropriately washed yet. All right, so the cleaning's done. Let's go ahead and run this thing through the scanner. Dude, you couldn't even tell that it had a paint job before. Now this thing's shining. Dude, look at that paint job. It's got that urban digital going on, dude. Looks good. Looks really, really good. I like this. I like the scheme on it. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can find what's busted here. Okay. It looks like nacelle 1 is good. Looks like nacelle 2 has a malfunction in the back, but it looks like it's easily accessible.
A lion tamer.
Yeah, so nacelle 2 is going to have to come off. And then apparently the other problem, I didn't get to see it because apparently it's in the left leg. But we'll put that on that bay over there. We got to get this plate off. There we go. This actually seems to be a bit more complicated than the ones we've done before. So there's the leg off right there. We've got our culprit. And then we also have the left arm. I was calling it a nacelle because it's like a larger mass suspended on top of like a... It doesn't move. Like this thing right here, it doesn't like rotate or anything else like that. So like I thought it was a nacelle, but apparently it counts as an arm. Let's go ahead and we'll throw that on the workbench over here. Looks like this needs to pop on out. And it looks like... What else are we going for here? You need to pop out. Okay. Take off the armor. Perfect. This guy? Okay. Oh, I gotta pull the cabling too? Good lord. Okay, we'll pull the cabling. There you go. Cabling's off. Thank God for heavy machinery. Let me tell you what. Alright, so we're going to bring this thing over here, and let's take a look at the nacelle first. Although nacelles are usually used for, like, propulsion, so maybe, I don't know the exact terminology. I just call everything that's a larger mass suspended by a small structure off the side of a spaceship, or, like, off the side of a mech. I always call it a nacelle. I don't know if that's, like, a good thing to call it, but that's what I call it. Alright, so the thing we're going for is actually easily accessible from the outside. Nice, man. You gotta love it. The only thing that we need to repair, apparently it's just a hard-locked piece of the chassis. Took a little bit of damage right there. Okay, let's swap on over this guy right here. Wait, hold on, it's fine? I think we may have pulled off the wrong thing. There we go. It pulled off the one that was on the other side. That's perfectly fine. Little control issue right there. Apparently this is cheaper right now, so we'll go ahead and take that. We'll go ahead and slot that on in, and this guy should be fixed. Yeah, looking shiny and chrome right there. I think that was our only damaged part on there. I think on this one, where was it? What was the thing we were looking for? We're trying to get that wire right there, I guess. It's probably easily accessible right through this panel would be my guess. But then again, I've been skunked and bamboozled in the past in assembly jobs, so yeah, it's not connected to anything, so we're good. I'm going to suggest, let's zoom in a little bit so I can get better targeting here. There we go, pull that. Okay, it's out. We'll go to replacement mode, and we'll search in the shop. There's our guy, it's 2,000 credits for that. Okay. Well, I think we are golden. I think that was all of our repairs. I don't think we had any further problems. Yeah. Alright, slap them back on. We'll see if everybody's happy with us or if they're upset with us. Take this over to here. Alright, perfect. And assembly. We'll go ahead and throw the left leg on there. Bing, boom, boom. I actually kind of like the mech designs in this game. They look pretty good. Like, they definitely seem, like, invocative of, like, Mechwarrior designs. But at the same time, they're their own distinct things if you actually look at them. It's kind of cool. Like, this little guy right here has definitely got kind of a Timberwolf vibe going. If you took the little frontal arms off and then you made this pod a little bit longer, like a catapult, like, it looks, you know, it definitely looks like it's invocating the name of Mechwarrior without kind of, like, straight up poaching it. And I like that. All right, buddy. Let's get you all fixed up, pal. There we go. Let's go see if it ships. It's done. Let's get paid. Off and away she goes. And we've got another $11,000 right there. I'd be worried about buying my license right now because...
threatening with a missile strike. Third time this week. Boring.
Apparently we're being threatened with a missile strike right now, in case you were wondering. Let's break out. The Argus only has one thing to repair. Let's do that, just for some fast money. Because, like, I still gotta have enough money left over to buy new parts whenever, you know, we get our license. That's what I'm worried about, is with 2,000, that's enough to replace like one part. And so, like, I don't know if the game auto-corrects for overspending, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to end up in an endgame type situation. I already get made fun of enough for being bad at video games. I'm not trying to make it worse. All right, let's look at this thing. Run it through the scanner. Ooh, I really like the cockpit on that one, how it's got kind of like an octahedral, like a dodecahedral thing going on the front of it. Although that much glass seems like it would be a liability in a firefight. But maybe this is just an industrial machine. Maybe this isn't a machine for war. The other one definitely seemed like it was for war. This one, though... Okay. There it is. Oh, it's just the armor plating, dude. That's easy. Okay. The armor plating's not even a problem. Like, we can make that, swap that out with a quickness. That's just like, that's just aesthetic damage, dude. That's not structural damage. That's not anything. Wow, you gotta bring me something challenging next time. Alright, let's go to the workbench and see if we can find this busted armor plate. Here's our guy. What's up with all that levitating stuff? That's a little terrifying. I'm going to assume that that was a visual bug. So this guy right here, it's an armor casing, but it comes off from this side. Okay, so it's like a bracer. Like a bolt-mounted bracer. Gotcha. Alright, so there's our guy. Oh, this one's got its own bolts, too. Double reinforced. Yeah, I forget what these little tubes are called right here. So basically, it's a double-ended corridor, and a bolt goes into either side. Basically, it's a fixture method for getting two machined pieces to slide into each other effectively, and the turning of the bolt pulls them together tightly. It's kind of a cool design. All right, we'll go to swap mode. That piece is fragged, so we're going to go ahead and grab that guy right there. We'll put that one back on, and this was a nice and easy-peasy job. I like games like this. I don't know. Some people don't get off on games like this, and that's like fine by me. They find it to be like too mundane. But I find stuff like this to be like really, really fun. So long as the game continues to get more and more complicated, like the further in you get. Like I like it like, so at the beginning of Auto Mechanic Simulator, right, the jobs literally take like 5 minutes. But by the end, you've got to basically reassemble the entire car from scratch. And, like, that's when it starts to get really, really interesting because you got to keep track of where everything's at, and you got to keep track of, like, what hooks into what, and it's cool, man. It's cool watching your knowledge increase. I'll go ahead and throw these bolts in. There we go. The bolt's done been throwed. That's a really cool mech. I like it a lot. I like that it gives you so many views to just kind of ogle the mech as well, because ultimately that's what I tend to do a lot with games like this. Is I want to look at the models, I want to look at the shaders, I want to look at the textures and the reflective aspects of it. Like, I want to feel like that mech came in busted and it went back out just looking right as rain. This guy's ready to go. So there you go. Ship him on out. Hook him up with some ropes. Get him back to the battlefield or the industrial yard. Oh, look at his little pad foots right there. He's got little pads on his footies just like a cat does. I anthropomorphize everything, and I'm sorry for that. Let's go ahead and we'll go to our company. We'll buy a license here. Oh, we get to decide what our logo is going to look like. Sweet, dude. Oh, I like that right there. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Oh, that one's got a Hamza on it. That's kind of cool, too. All right, so I assume that... Oh, really? These don't... Okay, so, UI design. You notice how these are going up to down? The thing at the bottom should be like at the bottom. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Let's find a cool symbol out here. I mean, that's pretty America right there. I'm not going to lie. Let's make it a red one. Okay. There you go. There you go. Mech Mechanic Corp. Nah, dude. The Builder Bros. Alright, so now we have a shop. So apparently we've got a welding station, we've got a decoration station, we've got a painting station. Okay. Oh, I can change the colors of my workshop too. I'm a big fan of just like really... I'm a fan of keeping, like, I know it's a workshop and there's going to be a lot of oil and a lot of fluids and whatnot, but I'm a big fan of everything being kind of like a sanitized medical white. Like, I just like that when it comes to workshops. Lets you see where all the dirt and where all the grime's at, especially if you're trying to do, like, I assume there are a number of electrical parts on a mech that probably need to be in a static-free environment, and they probably need to be in a dust-free environment. Dust is, like, the perennial, eternal enemy of anything that actuates, rotates, needs to be greased or lubed, it is the enemy. And so, like, I assume we have a clean room around here somewhere where we get up in the full getup. I mean, we are an illegal chop shop, effectively, but, you know. We are an illegal chop shop, but, you know. It's cool to be able to swap around. Oh, you can give it a light or a dark mode background, too. I think it looks better on the dark mode background, in all honesty. My hope was that that was going to give us access to the global market, but it looks like not. This is just the prologue, after all, so this isn't the full game. My name is Splattercat. This is Mech Mechanic Simulator. I hope you guys really, really liked it. I enjoyed myself. I'm looking forward to getting further on into this one. This is one of those games like Hard Space Shipbreakers, or like Auto Mechanic Simulator, or like American Truck Simulator that I could see myself losing a lot of time into. So anyways, I'll see y'all later. Thank you for stopping on in. It is worth noting that I did have one crash during the course of the prologue. It was in pre-recording, so it wasn't while I was making this video. But, you know, I did have one crash in the prologue. So obviously still a work in progress. But other than that, pretty much everything makes sense. Once you figure out the flow of fixing the mech, it's not that hard of a game to figure out. They've got a lot of little contextual UI things that work very, very well when you're like disassembling the mech for knowing like what comes out next, what's attached to what bolt do you have to get rid of in order to get that piece free. Like, and that's perfectly fine. It gives you all the tools you need as a layman to get on in here and start rebuilding some, you know, high scientific mechs. See y'all later. Thanks for being here. Bye, everybody.